John Hopkins, and I've been asked to talk to you about a development that we are recommending. And when we say recommending, it fits with our very strict philosophical beliefs and criteria and our very strict due diligence processes that we are recommending to our investment clients to purchase. The property Lakehouse is a boutique building in Palmerston Crescent in South Melbourne, and you know, with each different project, even though our set philosophies dictate locations, dictate Sydney, Melbourne and certain positions in Brisbane, so they are strict, they don't change, but there's always something to talk about with each particular project. Now with Lakehouse, I think I need to talk to you about South Melbourne. If you could accept that the development itself, the size of each apartment in this building, external design and function, all of that, if you could just accept that all of that passes, you know, with flying colours, our criteria. The two things about this position in South Melbourne, firstly Palmerston Crescent, and the fact that this whole precinct, which I would define as Kingsway and Albert Road, is really being regentrified. Now it's a blend between commercial and residential property, and the major metropolises of the world have seen this phenomenon and seen it work very, very well. And what happens is residential property, because of a need for people to live near metropolises, near the general amenity that you get from a major metropolis, that need to live from both an owner-occupation point of view and also a tenancy perspective, need to live in the inner urban areas of major metropolises and big cities, and therefore we find infill development of residential property in commercial areas, and this fits. There are 3 residential developments that have occurred in recent times within this small precinct, and they're all really appealing and really special buildings. So this isn't the first, it's part of a real development of residential property in the area. The second issue about where this development is to do with the general position, which is South Melbourne. And South Melbourne, you know, has for many years been one of Melbourne's really popular inner urban areas. Now parts of South Melbourne, so on the beach side of Clarendon Street, it's been more residential. On the Kingsway side of Clarendon Street, less residential, but South Melbourne is extremely popular. Clarendon Street, the South Melbourne market in particular, the retailing in all of the side streets of South Melbourne off Clarendon Street now are so popular. The restaurants, the cafes, you know, South Melbourne is one of those inner urban areas of Melbourne that has, for want of a much better word, has a vibe about it that I am confident that everybody that knows the Melbourne property market, you know, realises is special. So like Albert Park has, or like Richmond does, or like Fitzroy does, or like North Melbourne does, South Melbourne, absolutely, definitely. I mean, it's access to the city, access to St Kilda Road, in particular it's access to the freeway network, and, you know, dare I say, it's access to Albert Park, where most people would know we hold our Formula 1 Grand Prix, so it's infamous or famous from that perspective. Like the general position of South Melbourne, residential property in South Melbourne, you know, is just at the top of the tree. It's Class A, and feel very confident about that. So there it is.